Yo, everybody, right now, go on Snapchat, snap me your questions. I'm gonna put you live on YouTube. Here we go. What up? What up? Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, so we got some questions coming in. Let's see what we got. Zach Casto. Whoa, wait a minute.
In the past year, on what have you gained the most strength in? The bench, the deadlift, or the squat?
I love that question. In this past year, he said, what have I gained the most strength in? And it's definitely gonna have to be the deadlift, right? My squat has come along with it, but my deadlift seems to like, every year it gets better and better, no matter what I do. And even like I've been saying lately, like I haven't had a lot of time to like actually consistently train for like strength gains, but I have been making gains in the deadlift just because I like to deadlift. I deadlift often, I train the deadlift, but I don't train it like strength gains. But I will start doing that now, so I'm trying to get an 800 deadlift. That's my goal in the next couple months here, so we'll see if we can do it.
You want to take a large in the same color?
How long can your most effective workout be? I usually have half an hour to an hour max.
Okay, so how long can a most effective workout be? So to answer this question, there's no real like, you know, you have to work out for a half an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours to have the most effective workout. But you gotta understand that like, it depends on so many other things just in like a time period. Like it depends on your intensity in the workout. It depends on the food that you've eaten throughout the day. It depends on the food that you ate yesterday and how rested your body is. So honestly, I like to keep my workouts just as a rule of thumb around like an hour to an hour and a half, just so I don't burn myself out. But it's gonna depend on everything else you're doing, how much sleep, how much food, how much rest. So all those things make a difference in what's gonna make the most effective workout. Not necessarily just some time period, right? Because it's also gonna depend on what you're doing at the gym that day as well. So, Hennessy legit. Uh-oh, that's not.
Hey Brad, I want to know which kind of training you like the best, hypertrophy or power, and which exercise you like for which.
Okay, so this question was, what kind of training do I like the best, hypertrophy or power? So bodybuilding or like powerlifting? Honestly, I can't say either or. I started out lifting for strength, for athletic performance, and it led into like, I started building strength and at the same time was building muscle, and I was like, oh, this is cool, I like the way that I look as well. So then I started like dabbling more into Arnold stuff, into more bodybuilding stuff. And but which one do I like more? Definitely no answer there. However, I will say that getting stronger is probably one of the coolest things to do because it feels so good to be able to like beat goals. Whereas like bodybuilding is super subjective and it's like that person has better this or I have a better that or this is getting better. But it's more of like, it's a personal thing. It's how you feel. So bodybuilding is more of like a physical thing in my opinion, like a outside, like an outer shell type thing. Whereas powerlifting and getting stronger could be more of an internal thing because it gives you that internal motivation or that internal strength to get over things, to overcome odds, to get stronger, really, in a sense, and not just lifting more weight, but as a person, as an individual, it makes you stronger because you know that there's certain things you have to do and there's certain hoops or there's certain steps you have to take to get stronger. So it's kind of like you do those things and you get that reward. Whereas like bodybuilding is, you can get bigger biceps, but the reward is the bigger biceps, but like there's no like, I guess there's no like real, I mean, I guess there is. It can go both ways. Either way, it depends what your goal is and what you're motivated to do, but there's something special about like lifting 500 pounds and then lifting 550 and then lifting 600. It's just like a, but then again, I actually feel the same way about if you get bigger shoulders. So it's person by person. Mine, I can't say which. As far as which exercise I like for either or, it depends which body part. So can't really answer that question specifically, but let's keep going. Oh shit, did you see Bam? Look at him. Can I see that? Hey! Okay. AMG Power. He must have a Mercedes.
Hey Brad, how do you get the motivation to start dieting again after like a month of just eating like crap?
Oh! What were we just talking about in the gym? So he said, how do you get the motivation to start eating healthy again after like eating like crap for like a month? Me and Nadeem, literally, right? Nadeem's behind the camera. Me and Nadeem were literally like, I was just getting, yeah, behind, yeah, there you go. You saw him? He's like a ghost sometimes. But we were just talking at the end of this workout that we just filmed, which was like a leg routine without the hat on. You guys will see that. Oh, God. Anyways, we were talking about, because we were trying to get some pictures and how I felt fat today. And I legit haven't been like on my diet grind for like the past like month. And it's crazy because I own a food delivery company and the healthy food are delivered to my door, but I still like will eat the food and want to go eat like fast food. So I'm in the same rut as you are right now, like getting back into eating healthy. And I want to say something before I can kind of, because I'm going to have to figure out how to do it myself, because I've been here in and out of this situation. So I'm going to answer your question, but the thing that's crazy about it is, it's hands down the most important part of all of this, eating healthy, because it's gonna change the way you feel. It's gonna change how much energy you have throughout the day. It's gonna change how motivated you are to get to your workouts. It's gonna change, everything. So the eating thing, if you get in a rut where you get constantly used to eating like Sour Patch Kids and In-N-Out and Chipotle all day, every day, and that's like your source of calories, and like Diet Sprite. So if that's what you're doing, like you'll start to feel that will start to affect you. Yeah, they're calories, you get the calories in, but they're not clean calories. You're not gonna feel at your optimal levels, right? You're not gonna feel like you're gonna be able to perform at your highest level. So to get back into it, honestly, the hardest thing is this. You have to like really drive yourself for like 2 weeks, 2 solid weeks of not fucking up. You can't cheat, you can't get out of it. You have to stick to that strict schedule of like, you're gonna eat this many meals, this much, it's gonna be clean. Once you can pass those 2 weeks, you can keep going. You can have a little, you can change it, you can fuck up this weekend and keep going. You could eat that cheat food on that day and keep going. But the trick is the first 2 weeks are the hardest. The first 2 weeks, hands down, are the hardest. But once you get past the first 2 weeks, you can do it. So to answer your question, just do it. 2 weeks, you'll get over the hump. I promise it'll be easier from there. So I'm telling myself that, not just telling you, I'm telling myself that. Okay. There's so many coming now. Nope, I'm on, oh wait, he's got a video. Okay, we'll try this one.
Yo, Bradley, you got any tips for getting back on your diet after you slip up?
We just answered that, so hey, 2 for 1.
Yeah, for Friday.
Alright, cool.
What kind of macro percentages do you consume in a day? Is it possible to shred fat and gain muscle at the same time?
Okay, I'm gonna answer his second question. Is it possible to gain muscle and shed fat at the same time? Okay. I love talking about this kind of shit because it's so overly sold, it's so overly gimmicked on the internet. No, it's not possible to gain a ton of muscle. It's not possible to lose fat at the same time. Now, what you can do while you're dieting, right? The goal should be to maintain muscle, to challenge yourself to build new muscle, to challenge yourself to build strength while you're losing fat. That can absolutely happen. So you can maintain strength, you can maintain some muscle. It's more of a body composition change. So, but you can't like drop 10 pounds and gain 10 pounds of muscle like at the same time. It doesn't work like that. It's more like different levels. Like you can do this for this amount of time and then you could do this for another amount of time. So, and the reason why I'm telling you guys like this is that there's so many people out there who sell bullshit and they sell the idea that like, oh, you can gain fat. Excuse me, I always do this shit. You can gain muscle and lose fat in 30 days and just follow my bullshit routine. And it's like, man, shut the fuck up with that. Like, people are doing that just because they want to make money. It's crazy. The reality is your body physically cannot lose fat and gain muscle at the exact same time. That is physically fucking impossible because you have to do 2 things that are exactly different. You have to be in a calorie surplus to gain muscle. Meaning you have to eat extra calories. So you have to eat more food to gain muscle. And to lose fat, you have to eat less food, right? You cannot eat less food and eat more food at the same exact time. It makes no sense. It's 2 + 2 = 4. All right, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 1. Okay, so no, you can't. But what you guys want to focus on is if your goal is to lose fat, is to maintain muscle and to maintain strength as you go down. That should be your goal, to maintain muscle, to maintain strength. So to answer your question, no, you can't. But you can do your best to maintain. Right, and then on the flip side, if your goal is to build muscle and you're adding calories, right? Your goal should be to like maintain a smaller percentage of body fat as you're building muscle. That's the real key, and I think a lot of guys should focus, especially a lot of beginners, because I get a lot of beginners who say like, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that, and they're skinnier and they're younger and they're like, I want to get a 6-pack and stuff like that, but like their physique, right? They could definitely do well with some more shoulders or some more biceps or some more back or some more legs or some more of all of that, and they're more focused on like, I want to get abs. And you guys got to understand, like, at least in my perspective, and this is just my opinion, a lot of beginning guys should focus on building muscle and building strength instead of getting a six-pack. Because if you focus on building muscle and building strength, like, you're going to be able to fill out more. And then when you want to tighten up your diet and lose some of that fat, or maybe a little bit of fat that you added on, or, you know, if you were skinny fat before, then you're kind of filling out more muscle. You'd be able to, just put it this way, you'd be a lot more happy going that route, gaining more muscle, maintaining the body fat level, so keeping the body fat low while you're gaining muscle. So that's finding the right amount of calories to go up in weight, but not overdoing it so you get fat. And a lot of you guys would be much more happier in that route than like trying to maintain a six-pack but then get big shoulders. Like, it's a lot, it's hard, it depends. Everybody's genetically different, like how much body fat you could hold while you're gaining muscle, or how much muscle you could hold while you're losing body fat. So I know I kind of rambled on about that one. I'll talk about this in more in depth in other videos, but let's get back to these questions. Sorry. Okay. Dan is a bunch.
Bradley, when you plateau, what is the best thing to do when you're lifting?
What do you say? When you plateau, what's the best thing to do when you're lifting?
Yeah.
Okay, so plateau, so he's talking about when you like stall out, or like you've been making gains and all of a sudden like gains stop. So I'm just assuming gains like muscular or strength, you just stick. Like you go in the gym and you keep squatting the same amount of weight and it's not going up. Or you keep shoulder pressing the same amount of weight and your shoulders aren't getting bigger. So plateau. My best advice is look back on what you've been doing, how long you've been doing it for, and how hard you've actually been working. So it's hard for me to judge on this side of the camera saying like, I know you, because I don't technically know you to a T, right? I do offer like online coaching, meal plans, training programs to people like individually, and I help people with their plateaus to get through their plateaus, but that's on my site, that's a whole nother topic. So to give you like a general idea is when you plateau, you have to look back at what you've been doing for 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, and your numbers that you've been hitting in your lifts, if you're trying to get over like a strength plateau or like a physique plateau. Like you have to look at the intensity, the lifts, like the amount of reps, the amount of sets, and then evaluate it and say like, okay, I've been doing all this stuff, how could I tweak this, how could I change this to keep making progress? So I'm not saying you have to keep changing your routine every day, but if you've been doing something consistently for 5 months, 3 months, like, and you've been working hard at it, change the routine, change the set rep schemes, change the weight, change the rest times. So there's so many different things you could do, and a lot of times you don't have to change a ton of different things. You could change 1 or 2 workouts. You can change your back workout and maybe put it at a different day of the week, or you could change like your leg workout and put it at a different day of the week. So those are the things you can change to get through the plateau. And then a lot of it's gonna come down to like eating. Like, are you eating enough? Right, because that's a big thing. Are you getting enough rest? Are you getting enough recovery? So there's all those other things that come into play. And again, guys, that's why I offer like personalized stuff, because I can help you specifically with it. But just so you guys have like a general idea, think about the things you're doing outside of the gym as well. The eating, the rest, the recovery, sleep, all that stuff. Is that working out well for you? Because that's like, or like stress, like are you dealing with shit because your girlfriend, or family stress, or what's consuming your mind? Like all those other things play a big role in your physique and how you turn up, right? And I don't mean turn up like in the club, like hey, in the club, but you know, like how you show up, how your body changes, right? So there's a lot of things to think about, and yeah, so think about all those things and then evaluate them and move forward. You know, what's gonna best help you. So I can't say, because I don't technically know what you've been doing, I can't say what's gonna best help you, person who asked that question.